And welcome to the Group Stage 3 round of GA LAN. It looks like we're going to get right into this process middle. No time to waste whatsoever. Do you want to take us away on this one, HiipFire?
Alright, well, we're looking at Namtac here, and News exchanging a little bit of spam. Soldiers coming up for the side of nerdRage, getting that high ground. We kind of spammed off of it though, but there's the big bomb from the Soldiers. Honey has been launched up into the sky, and he will go down to that effective bomb from the nerdRage Soldiers. But on the other side, Funds is just wreaking havoc right now, taking out 2 players. The rest of nerdRage is going to have to get out.
Yeah, that was a really great mid from, I don't even know what their name is, but the Honey team, they're doing... even though they lost Honey on such an early point of that mid, they still seem to be able to capture the midpoint. I don't think Ombrak did a really good job actually of just knowing that it was over for his team, and he got out with his soldier to make sure that he had that protection. But the Funds and Chris Scout combo of the wind tunnel players are just too strong at the moment.
Alright, well, the push is coming in. nerdRage wants to come in, but Ombrak actually drops to zeSfrosty. I don't know what happened there, but they now have no Uber to contest this midpoint with. They're still in. They have committed to this, and they're going to try to do what they can to salvage this push, but they haven't gotten a single kill. Medica will eventually get Chris while he's trying to get out. But what was that? Yeah,
that was crazy. I mean, it looked like everything was going in the way of nerdRage, but just unfortunate for them there that Ombrak walks through that choke completely unaware to the zeSfrosty bomb, and it's very good on zeSfrosty to even get out there that he bombed into the full combo, and it looks like they're just going to have to turtle up on this last. They've got Blade, he's up on the heavy, going to try and stop those bombers, and they've even got a sentry as well, so if I think they're going to have to sort of bide their time and try and work something off of this. Need to take down those big heavy classes before they can even make this push work.
Alright, well, yeah. As you said, Mental Tactic is trying to get the sentry down. There's some spam coming in from News. The Uber has been popped. They've gotten the sentry. The vaccinator bubbles are being popped by Ombrak. Mental Tactic is trying to play the point. They're trying to get some frags. Actually, now that this Uber has faded, but they're not really getting anything. They got Namtac. They're trying to get Blade. They finally get Blade, but there are only 3 players left. They have to get out, and there goes Pappy and Funds, and now it's just Honey alone in choke trying to get out.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate one there. They had so many off classes and that vaccinator as well, just completely denying that push. It looks like Ombrak actually is opting to stay up on this vaccinator charge. Maybe after that drop, not feeling too comfortable on the Medigun. I'm going to play this right. They put that bubble onto Korvac and just get it straight through that choke, and it looks like they're taking up a lot of position on this mid here. I mean, the Wind Tunnel Tactics players are trying to stay in and get some damage here, but after Chris has gone down, it's looking very dire for them. There's zeSfrosty going down, I mean, and Pappy going down pretty low as well, and it's just all over for them. They just need to get it out and try and build up this Uber charge as fast as possible.
Alright, well, they didn't get Honey on that midpoint though. They're going to have almost full, well, basically Uber advantage versus this vaccinator. So they're going to have to, nerdRage is going to have to watch out for the push out, but they're actually going to take the fight to them. They have a player down who just spawned. They're trying to make some space in this choke point, but they're not really able to do much. They popped off a bunch of vaccinator bubbles, but the Wind Tunnel Tactics player are now going to counter push into mid, trying to get through choke. They're actually getting spawned or spammed out very hard, but nerdRage understands that they do not have the the vaccinator charges to contest that Uber. The Uber does get forced by Korvac, but Wind Tunnel Tactics will have capped this midpoint.
Yeah, that was really good for Korvac there. It looked like Wind Tunnel Tactics had taken such a great amount of position there on that mid, and they didn't even pop off their Uber, so that vaccinator just was not working to the effect that they were wanting. But it looks like it's just going to be a complete leapfrog now. They've got Blade Scout onto Honey. He goes down to such low amounts of HP, but it looks like the back cap is actually coming out of Chris, and he's completely turned the heads around of nerdRage, and they've had to go all the way back, completely give up this midpoint push, and it looks like Wind Tunnel Tactics are going to be able to take the second point.
Well, they're going to aggress onto the combo here. Ombrak needs to pop all his vaccinator charges to stay alive, to get out of this little rollout area. He won't make it out alive. Wind Tunnel Tactics capping second. They're about to get this Uber, and they're going to push into last. There's an NG and a heavy up for the side of nerdRage. They're assembling here this push on the right. Getting spammed a little bit. Funds does go down. to what is, I guess, a sticky trap. So they will get out, and actually zeFrosty goes down as well. Not really sure what's going on, but Untitled Tech's going to have to stay outside.
Yeah, I don't think they want to be pushing in here. I mean, with that vaccinator up, they really don't need to rush anything because they've got permanently going to be able to build those bubbles up as much as they can. I mean, it looks like they're trying to get a sack out with someone with the bubble on, some sort of resistance, but even then, you can see they're content to just turtle up on this last until Honey pops off his Uber, and then they can just completely collapse on them.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can pull that off. The Wind Tunnel Tactics guys are just sitting here by the second point. All 6 of them pretty much ready to deny anyone who, you know, might be thinking of jumping in, but nerdRage is not holding too aggressive either. They're holding, well, they're holding in lobby, but it seems like they're not very keen on pushing out, putting in a sack or anything. Just hoping that the Wind Tunnel Tactics players will just gift the kill to them, you know, someone might feed. The push actually coming in from Wind Tunnel Tactics though, a jump coming in from Pappy. I guess that was just a sack, but he just got destroyed by that sentry. No chance. Even says in the chat, he says GG.
Yep, it's all over. I mean, he just, it doesn't look like they have any idea on what they want to be doing. Oh my god, Honey with a lovely surf there. He gets shot right in the face, but he does not even think about popping off that Uber. That's really great play from Honey there. And then they've somehow managed to work themselves 2 picks here, and they still have full Uber advantage. We do see zeFrosty up on the spy, so they might want to wait for him to make a play or get in, but it looks like they're going to be trying to push off of this advantage that they've got themselves. They are trying to take down the sentry gun, but it looks like instead of pushing, they've gone into a pause. Yeah.
Let's do some speculation. Let's see what's gonna happen. I see a rocket from Medico straight going into
oh my.
About to hit a direct onto News.
Yeah, that's gonna not be terribly good for them, but
yeah, there's even stickies from Namtech around him. News is in for a very bad time.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be... Honey is kind of committed in there, so we're thinking maybe he's going to have to pop off his Uber, but I mean, if not, News is going to just be left out to dry. There's like the stickies of Namtech are coming directly at his face, the rockets of Medico. There's just... I have a feeling that it's going to go very bad for the Scottish Demo Man here, but... apart from that, we do see zeFrosty still in as the spy, so I think of all the classes that we're going to see anything interesting come off of, I think he's going to be the one to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely. There's no one even really paying attention to the left. All the attention from nerdRage is on the right. And zeFrosty has a good position. Well, the unpause is coming in. News, in fact, has gone down to the combined damage of Namtech and Medico. But the Uber has not been popped. They've just immediately gone back. zeFrosty's spy play will not work out. I see Korvac going outside, trying to maybe get a force out of Honey Badger, but I don't think he's going to be able to get much done. Actually, Wind Tunnel Tactics is trying to maybe keep this second point alive. Honey Badger healing everyone. There's an aggression coming in. The pop is in. Neo has gone down to Funds. Chris will get Namtech, and Funds will chase Umbrak and Medico, and we'll get the 2K, and everyone on nerdRage is just down. We just have Blade on the point. Korvac trying to do something, but that's it. Wind Tunnel Tactics will take the first round.
Yeah, that was really good from them there. I mean, we saw that there was quite a few players that were up after that sort of botched attempt at a push, but then Umbrak gets taken down with all those vaccinator charges and renders himself completely useless. I mean, he has opted to go back onto the Uber gun, which I'm sure will please Wind Tunnel Tactics very much, because I know playing against a vaccinator is no easy task, but going on to this second mid.
Alright. Let's see what's going on here. No one really having too much of a dominant position in this mid just yet. Soldiers of nerdRage trying to get on top. They're pushing over the PC area. They're getting some frags. Funds gets Korvac, but nerdRage responds with 3 frags of their own. It's just Chris, Pappy, and Honey. Chris will get Blade, but it seems like, I think that's Pappy behind. So it's basically just Chris and Honey on mid. They're going to gift that up. Pappy is in a relatively favorable spot if he hasn't been seen, but he has been spotted, so that flank is not really going to work out.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate on that mid there, because it kind of looks like zeFrosty timed out halfway through the fight, kind of rendering himself a bit useless there, which it's always a bit unfortunate when you get to mid and then someone times out and it turns out you're 5v6, but yeah, I mean, we do see that both the Uber charges are up for both teams, so don't know what they're going to be trying. Maybe have Pappy on like a spy or a sniper or something, but it looks like right now they're content to just hold off this second point and try and spam their way through if anything else.
Well, let's see. There's a lot of nerdRage players in the sewer area. There's actually a big bomb coming onto the combo. Honey will only get hit by one of those shots. Funds will take him out. There's still a demo actually caught in the sewers area. Chris will clean up that kill. That's 2 picks for Wind Tunnel Tactics in trade for just zeSty. They might want to push off of this. They're looking in choke, trying to do what they can. There's some scouts kind of annoying them, but they do manage to break through. Chris does go down. Actually, the entire flank of Wind Tunnel Tactics has gone down. The Uber gets popped onto the combo, but the combo without zeSty, they're going to have to get out. 6 players of nerdRage chasing. They did get the force out of Umbrak, but these 3 players, I don't think it'll be enough. We do have a zeSty spawner who's jumping in, but there goes Funds. And, well, Honey's very weak, and News is getting focused as well, also very weak, but actually they get Medico and Neo 2 picks. zeSty does go down. It's even numbers right now. Wind Tunnel Tactics trying to see if they can do anything. Chris goes down by the shutter area, but there's Pappy jumping in. We'll get Namtac, and they somehow hold the second point. Yeah,
that was really good from Wind Tunnel Tactics there, just kind of from the sort of combination of Honey just surfing about and then sort of cleaning up the frags that they really needed to, and they're able to hold on to that second point. It looks like they're going to be able to push into mid now. nerdRage are not happy about that though. They've got both their soldiers launching and taking that height advantage, and everyone's just walking across, and they've just taken enough damage that they're just going to have to completely back onto their second point. So that was really good from nerdRage there, noticing that even though they had 4 people die on the second of Wind Tunnel Tactics, they got the spawners in quickly enough that they could just completely contest that point and have shut down the sort of takeover of mid that Wind Tunnel Tactics were trying to get. But yeah, we do see here Medico is taking quite an aggressive peek, trying to get some sort of damage. As Honey actually goes down to Korvac, and that is a drop of 1 for the logs. He's tried too many ballsy plays, but it's not going to work out this time. He's not going to be able to surf all the rocket, and that's looking so good for nerdRage now.
Yeah, the combo of nerdRage moving through this PC area. There's a soldier caught here. There's a flank coming in from Funds trying to do some damage, but he will easily get taken down. Namtac getting another kill on zeSty. He's gotten to 3K here on this second point. Honey and News, the only people on last. Chris is there as well. They're going to Vaccinator. There's actually already some nerdRage players on last. They're going to have to fight, but they don't want to commit to it. They're going to go to lobby. They're just going to be happy with this second point they got. Wait for their players to come in, and now they're going to push proper. Uber has been popped. They're trying to focus down these vaccinated players. They successfully focused down the heavy of Chris, but they haven't really gotten any other frags. There are some people coming in control room. They're coming all the way around. They do get the demo. zeSty also goes down. They're getting picks. They're playing the point. It's just a scout and a medic, and nerdRage will equalize. Will be 1-1.
Yeah, that was really good from them there. I mean, they did the exact right thing. You saw there that Medico tried to push in on his own, but they noticed that they had the vaccinator, so they just backed out. They cancelled the push completely and then came back in with a scout Uber, focused that heavy down, got that really beefy target out of the way, and just made that push so much easier. When you've not got that vaccinator heavy, it's just so difficult to get in. I mean, yeah, we are going on to this third mid. Korvac making a lot of damage, does take a lot of damage in the process, and does eventually go down. And that's given a very good advantage towards the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. And nerdRage are just completely backing up. They have no thoughts of even thinking about contesting after that Korvac failed jump goes in.
Yeah, it's just gotta, when you have such crap positioning, you just have to give that up. Wind Tunnel Tactics completely took that opportunity. There's actually a bomb trying to come in from zeSty. Gets completely destroyed by the sticky trap that's in choke. There's some aggression coming in from nerdRage. Actually, in PC, Korvac and Pappy will trade. So it is 5v4. nerdRage is going to be pushing into mid. The Wind Tunnel Tactics players don't have the greatest position. They're all kind of on this point. Funds does get Neo. News sadly gets dropped by Honey. The Uber gets popped by Umbrak as well. Chris gets caught, and now it's just Funds and Honey. They're kind of separated from each other, but they both will get out. You also have, I think that's Pappy over there in choke as well, but nerdRage will get that midpoint.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate for Wind Tunnel Tactics there. They just, all their players were scattered at the wrong time for that Uber, and everyone kind of just falling to death by Honey. I mean, it was just a bit of a unfortunate flashing there, but also on the other hand, really good sort of focus fire from nerdRage, seeing that those players weren't getting Ubered and just making sure that they got the picks that they needed while they had the chance. And it looks like Honey's just content to have all these players holding on this second point. I mean, he's on the floor right now, Medico trying to get in him for a bomb there, but doesn't quite get anything. It does look like Pappy is very aggressively peeking on this IT side, but he's had to back up. Nothing quite going to come out of that one, and looks like it's going to go into another stalemate.
It seems so. Let's see what these teams are going to try to do about it. We have actually 3 people very aggressively holding in PC. The combo of Wind Tunnel Tactics, maybe trying to catch someone out, trying to peek aggressive in PC. There's a scout peeking. There's both scouts peeking actually. And that's as the combo actually is retreating. They will not really be able to do much with that little, I guess, little play that they were trying to make. Let's see, we see zeSty peeking choke. Maybe wants to go for a big sack. It's spammed out, not really able to do anything. Pappy tries to do the same thing, but thinks better of it. There's actually an aggressive jump in from Blade and Korvac into PC. And there's a push coming in from Sewers as well. This is the push for nerdRage trying to break the stalemate. Medico jumps on top of second, gets onto zeSty, he goes down. Neo fights Chris in PC, he goes down as well. Funds is unable to save the second point. Pappy trying to get out through Shutter, he will go down too, and it's gonna be a very hard last hold for Wind Tunnel Tactics. They're basically getting forced into this little secret area. The Uber gets popped by both medics. No one has been killed just yet.
Yeah, we did see the spawners coming in from Wind Tunnel Tactics, though, that should hopefully be able to hold this off. But nerdRage are content to just sort of stay in here. We do see Korvac taking that upward position. I don't think anyone's seen him, but both the soldiers, zeSty and Pappy, doing really great work there, combining their jumps to just completely deny what they were trying there. And apart from getting good damage on the combo on the floor, and they just completely deny that flank attack from Korvac, which was really good from them. And it looks like they're trying to peek out here, actually. We do see News trying to get some sort of spam, but zeSty and Funds, both are taken down, and this is not good for Wind Tunnel Tactics. They do have a slight Uber advantage, so they're going to want to try and build this for last, but if nerdRage play their cards right, they'll force out the Uber, and then it could put them in a really good situation.
Alright, well, there's a fight going on last. Blade gets News. That's an important pick. The point is being played by nerdRage, but both the players will go down. There's 3 players left that make that 2 players left. Blade unable to get out of rollout. It's just Medico and Umbrak for the side of nerdRage. Wind Tunnel Tactics with their 5 players will be getting this second point. There's actually an aggressive jump from Pappy trying to maybe get onto Umbrak in choke. But is unable to do anything with that.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to really get that Uber forced out of Umbrak, because this is going to be a complete destruction. They do get Umbrak to use that Uber. Very good play from Funds there, getting out aggressive onto the nerdRage players, forcing it that Uber charge, but it looks like they've completely had to give up second for it, and they're just going to be sitting on their last. We do see Pappy is stuck behind an IT and does get taken down eventually, but that could have been could have maybe got something there if he had slipped by unnoticed.
Yep, and now Wind Tunnel Tactics is on last with about 40% Uber advantage. They did manage to save 4 players get out when nerdRage approached the second point. Should be able to push out. Actually, Funds is going on NG though, so it seems like Wind Tunnel Tactics maybe not too keen on pushing out of this last. Funds putting the sentry in front of the point there, facing the wall of lobby. Very like a difficult spot to spam. You kind of have to, I guess, commit to that. They do check if there's a spy. No spies. They know there's no gimmicks. Neo goes down to a sticky trap of News. There's some soldiers peeking in from rollout. There's actually, the sentry will get spammed out. Happy will go down to Namtak, but then Namtak gets traded out. And that's numbers advantage for Wind Tunnel Tactics. They even also have the demo pick. They should be able to at least get a force out. They're trying to get out of this lobby area, but News just goes down to Medico's rockets, and they're really not able to do anything from that number advantage.
Yeah, I think that was the curse of Honey trying to do too much with his Ubers there. I mean, he could have just Ubered his soldier and his demo out at the top there, but he was so committed to holding on to it to try and force like the Umbrak out without using his Uber charge and sort of get into that sort of advantage situation. But unfortunately, he he does drop news, and then that push is to be completely cancelled, and we're just setting back up on last. We do see that sentry gun coming down in that sneaky point behind, sort of looking over the point where most people can't really see it unless you full peek into that last. And I don't think nerdRage are wanting to just totally go in there. We do see Medico going in for a launch onto Honey, but if Tails have told anything before, Honey does not pop to one player, and he will drop if necessary.
Alright, well, Untitled Tactics does want to try to break the stalemate, just like with Blade on Sniper, but Untitled Tactics has a different idea. They have zeFrosty on Spy, sitting here on that under the stairs of Spire. The soldier passes him. He gets damaged by his rocket jump, actually. Gonna approach, go up top here. He sees Umbrak sitting there in that top BC area. Sees him. There's no one really around him. The cloak has run out, and he has been spotted, and that play will not work out. Let's see what nerdRage's off class will do. We have Blade sitting in lobby. Failed to get a pick when he tried to peek in one. He peeks in. He misses a shot on News. He misses another shot. News will actually get a kill on Medico. Neo will get a kill on Chris, but that's still the more important soldier pick is for Wind Tunnel Tactics. Blade peeking in. The sentry has actually gone down. zeFrosty gets Neo. The Uber gets popped for the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. The Uber gets popped on the side of nerdRage as well. Korvac gets funds in lobby. zeFrosty gets Blade. Scout for a scout. It's still just people in. Korvac and Namtak will actually go down. Namtak getting caught in that on the left side of lobby, maybe overextending a little bit. And Umbrak is going to get out of PC. Medico not with him. Kind of a potential for a chase, but nobody's going for that. Yeah, Wind Tunnel Tactics will get second.
That was a bit unfortunate there. I mean, it was kind of looking pretty bad for Wind Tunnel Tactics on that last point. I mean, Honey was sort of trying to find a good target to Uber in a good situation, but he just wasn't able to find it. And then both his scout and his demo man went down, and I think they just held on to it for so long that the spawners eventually came in and they were able to completely wipe them out here. But it's a bit weird. I think looks like they're shaping up for a PC push. I'm going to be watching funds coming in here, and they're just going to get straight onto Umbrak, and he does not have that Uber up, and that is Umbrak down, and Funds is just doing so much work. He takes down the medic, takes down the demo man, and he eventually does get neutralized by Medico. But yeah, that was such a great push. They just focused down those key targets that they really needed. Korvac is sort of still somehow alive, but Pappy is able to bring him up, and Neo is trying a sort of last-ditch effort to stop this midpoint going down, but he's eventually going to have to retreat out to that second point, and that is a midpoint for Wind Tunnel Tactics and a 50% Uber advantage, which is looking really good in their favor now. They should be able to just take this through choke and take control of the second point if they play their cards right.
Yeah, the spawners have just come in for nerdRage. There's only 4 people on the point. If they go fast enough, they can get some kills, but actually News and Chris will both go down. Actually, zeFrosty and Honey will also go down. That push just completely fell apart before it really started.
Yeah, that was so weird. I mean, they just kind of walked through that choke, and they tried to sort of get some positioning, but the picks from Namtak and I can't remember who else, but they just took down those 2 players, and then they just worked off of that advantage as best they could. And now it's a massive 90% Uber advantage for Umbrak, and from what we've been seeing from him here, he's been playing so well around his team where he just doesn't pop, and they play so passive that they don't have to pop off their Uber, getting these second points a lot of the time, and he should be able to hold this on for last if he plays his cards right.
Alright, well, the push is coming in from nerdRage off of that big advantage that they got. News will get Namtag. The demo is down for nerdRage. Blade will get funds. Korvac will go down. Happy will go down. But the demo is down for nerdRage. They haven't actually forced the Uber yet. This might be a push, still an Uber advantage push for nerdRage. The Uber gets popped 1. So the flash is coming in. Wind Tunnel Tactics is in their spawn, rotating to the right side. Chris will go down, but they're starting to give a lot of space to Wind Tunnel Tactics here. Now that the Uber has faded, zeFrosty gets Medico. zeFrosty gets a second kill. Will eventually go down to Namtek, but there's just 2 players left. It's just Funds and Pappy. Are they going to be able to hold this? They will not be able to, and nerdRage secures their second point of the match.
That was really good from them there. They took that Uber in just when they knew they still had advantage, and they were lucky enough that Honey was not able to build it quite quick enough and be able to take him down. But the spawners, that they weren't quite there for that push, but as soon as the Uber was over, they just completely collapsed on them there. They had the better health, they had the better everything, and they just really worked off that well. And but yeah, going into this fourth mid, 2-1 to nerdRage now. We've really got a game on our hands. Only 6 minutes left. Looks like Wind Tunnel Tactics going to have to make this mid work out for them somehow. We do see Korvac going in for the big bomb. Takes down News, and Blade following up as well. Takes down Pappy. And Korvac does eventually fall to the hands of Funds, but it's already over. I mean, once that Demo Man is down and you've got that crucial advantage, then it looks like they're even going to have to just take this right back to last. nerdRage are so keen to chase this into the second point, and they're doing so well and keeping that aggression. They realise they've got that advantage, and they just completely take both mid and the second point for free there.
Well, Wind Tunnel Tactics do get their spawners. You do actually have Funds on Sniper. This is an equal Uber situation, and nerdRage does have the advantage in having, or being a point up to Wind Tunnel Tactics, so them staying on second should be completely fine for them. It's going to be on Wind Tunnel Tactics to break the stalemate. Funds, yeah, is on Sniper. He's going into lobby. See if we can get anything. I think that's zeSfrosty on the Spy as well. A double off class. zeSfrosty's sitting in lobby. Probably going to just sit, I don't know, try to get outside and then trying to find an opening. Hasn't found an opening yet. Funds, on the other hand, is trying his hardest right now. Looking at top EC. Sees a soldier peeking aggressively, unable to hit the shot. He needs to hit these shots to break the stalemate. Scout peeks, soldier peeks. Again, he misses. He's getting spammed out of lobby, unable to do anything. Let's see what zeSfrosty's doing. He is in PC. Funds actually gets taken out by a counter snipe from Blade. Here's zeSfrosty uncloaking in PC. He forces the Uber from Umbrak. That's good enough. A good enough play for him. They will not be able to push into last with an Uber. Honey will have his Uber for this last hold. He pops. News actually goes down to the sniping of Blade. So Honey's unable to save him with the Uber. Funds does get Blade eventually, but this is still a very uncomfortable situation for Wind Tunnel Tactic. The repush is coming in from nerdRage here on the left in this lobby area, but they're not really able to get in, so they're going to go back on to second.
Yeah, it looks like nerdRage were trying to sort of stay in there and make that push or botched push kind of work there, but they were really good in fact that they got that Uber force so deep into the Wind Tunnel Tactics last that they weren't really able to force it off, and since both the soldiers and the Demo Man were still alive after the force, they were able to just get back out, and they've got this massive Uber advantage which they're taking in now. We do see the Scout Neo getting kind of leading the charge, but does eventually get dropped. The sentry has gone down, but I don't think there's anything they can really do here. Honey does have 100% Uber, goes down to 13 health, and then he does eventually pop it off. Namtap and Medic will go down, so they're definitely going to want to try and get out here. They do take down Ombrak, and this is going to be a second point for Wind Tunnel Tactics.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people down for the side of nerdRage. They will not have heals for at least another 10 seconds-ish. Even more than it actually with the spawn timers due to this cap. So they should be able to get this middle point. No heals. They're immediately respecting the heals that Wind Tunnel Tactics have. They will get out of their choke. There is actually a spy play from, who is that? That's from Blade, sitting on the point. It's not able to find anything yet since the Wind Tunnel Tactics guys are pushing into second here. They're in sewers and choke. They should be pushing in soon. They're building up the Uber right now. Should be up soon. Blade is just silently watching them from this middle point here.
Oh, actually, we do see the push coming out from Wind Tunnel Tactics here. They're just taking that far side on sewers, and I think Honey is trying to bully them out without even using the supercharge. This is really
no,
good
but Blade, he's coming from behind. They don't see him, and he gets the backstab on Honey.
Oh my god, they just completely did not expect that whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah, that was... Oh, Chris actually gets onto Ombrak and forces off that Uber. That could have been the counter drop from Ombrak there. That was very unfortunate, but yeah, they played that so well, and then that play from Blade just completely turned it around. It was looking so good for them. They had time on the cap, they had everyone in the right position, but that medic gets dropped and then it's all over. And it looks like nerdRage at 1 minute 30 left, it's 2-1. If Wind Tunnel Tactics want to get anything done here, they're going to have to be quick about it.
Well, let's see if Wind Tunnel Tactics can somehow, I don't know, just do something within this minute and a half. A jump coming in. Pappy trying to, I don't know, get a force in or something. Not able to get an opening. He will just get out. zeSfrosty, and actually the combo pushing in from PC. Everyone going down in PC. And Pappy also dying on the flank. Honey's trying to get out through this top PC area, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much. He's going to get cleaned up by Neo. It's just News and Chris. News is on last. Chris is in lobby. Chris trying to fight this soldier in PC, or in lobby rather. Not able to get anything from that. And this is just a really crappy situation. nerdRage pushing in with the full Uber advantage. There's a scout on the ground. That's Funds. Funds will go down. zeSfrosty tries to jump in, tries to do what he can. Can't do anything. Pappy jumps in, gets Medico. Pappy is on the right side. He will get cleaned up eventually. nerdRage, so much 5v2. News will go down, gets 2 kills. But then Umbrak will take him out. And then there you go. That's like its last kill, and it's 3-1.
That's it, yeah. That was such a close game as well. There was like such a great opportunity at the end there for Untitled Tactics to tie up that game and make it really interesting. But unfortunately, that one spy play just completely stopped anything that they were trying to do. And he eventually gave it another round in the favour of nerdRage. So really well played from them to sort of just get that advantage and play off of it really well. I mean, there was a few times there throughout that match where it seems like both the medics are really keen to hold on to their Ubers as long as possible. Like you see there from Honey, like he would let News die in some situations where he just knew that the Ubers, even if he did pop it off, they wouldn't be very good. So there's a lot of times where maybe the communication there was like, okay, we're pushing now, and then Honey's just like, and maybe even Umbrak as well, are just not using their Ubers and their players are falling around beside them. But then it's just crazy to see how holding on to them for so long and then how that's been affecting the game.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can pull up some logs in a minute. Just give us a quick moment while
sitting here chatting about absolutely nothing when I could be getting the logs up. It's what everyone wants to be seeing, you know. Let me just put that in there.
There we go.
Load the log. Right.
Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
Right, and being a true soldier main, I'm going to obviously order it by damage. And up at the top there, we see Namtak and Korvac just really laying it into the enemy team. Funds, actually, you don't see that too often as scouts getting up that massive sort of damage there. He's got 280 against Korvac's 283. That's really good to see there. You can just tell that he is one of the top scouts in Europe right now. I mean, let's see, what is his KD? We're seeing him up oh my god, this thing's not working quite right, but Blade and Funds up at the top, fragging for both their teams, 21 kills to 26 kills. Just shows you that the scouts in these games are very scary.
Yeah, Funds has been performing all LAN. Like he's been being on top of the scoreboard, or I guess the logs of damage, like consistently. It's been pretty nuts. Just rolling over everyone, but I guess it just wasn't enough to get Wind Tunnel Tactics to win.
Yeah, I know. It's always interesting to see these kind of things where like one player sort of taking a lot of the Ubers, because you saw there that Funds was really trying to be the leader of a lot of these pushes. You can see he's clearly quite a central part of their team. You see sort of Pappy and zeSfrosty, I noticed that a lot there. They like to be quite loose in their roles. There's no set, like, well, Pappy is technically the pocket soldier, I'm pretty sure, and zeSfrosty's roaming about, but you do see he's not afraid to just kind of get in there and do like double bomb peeks at choke and trying all these crazy plays, which is I really like to see that, where they've got like a flexible combination of their soldiers there, so that's good. But yeah, again, nerdRage just throughout this LAN have been performing so well that, I mean, that's their worst result so far, and it's a win 3-1, so you've got to be saying that they're doing something right. I mean, we can move on to the medic stats, I guess. I mean, we can see here the drops. Honey on 2, Umbrak on 1. I don't know if you can see there. Both of the medics are not afraid to be using these vaccinator charges, but that's always something that you like to see when there's some sort of variety in the gameplay. But yeah, just want to quickly move it along. Let's see. Nah, we're not quite all in the server yet, but see if there's any stats in particular that you want to be seeing here. I guess we can look over like the map kills or something like that. That's always a good one to sort of see. Where's it gone? There we are. So we're seeing there, blue is pretty much dominating the whole board as as they have been in the past. A lot of the time it's been spent on the reds last. We see 24 kills to red, 21 to blue, so it's been quite a hectic game, and we can see nerdRage are really bringing out the bag.
You can see that Funds has been doing really well this match by the mid stats, how he's leading mid frags.
Yeah. I mean, even though it's +3 for blue, I mean, he's up at +7. He's doing really good for his team. I mean, you can just see that he's really making a lot of things work. But he's playing around his team pretty well, and I think they know that he's got such great DM that he knows how to really capitalize off of all the things that's happening. He's just got very good positioning, and I think he's definitely, of all the people in that team, one that nerdRage are going to be having to watch out on this second map. I mean, Gully Wash is quite a hard map for Scout. I think it's pretty good for like the soldiers, and definitely a really good map for Demo Man. So there's loads of places for traps that they need to watch out for. So if they can make Funds be as effective on this map as he has been in the past, I think that'll be something really good to watch out for.
I'm quite curious if they can finally, if Untitled Tactics can finally win a Gully Wash map, because I walked over to them after their second series, and I asked them like, what made you end up picking Gully Wash, and Funds just shrugged.
Oh, right.
So they definitely are having some doubts about this Gully Wash pick, but let's just see that. I would very much like them to at least finally pull out a win on it, because I mean, they finally drop a map, and you gotta try and recover a little bit at this point. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, God, I've completely forgot how to unload these statistics, but you know, I guess they'll just be sitting there for a little bit until Turbo Tabs comes back. But yeah, yeah, I think on this map, one thing to watch out for is definitely the soldiers, because there's so many good places that you can get the bombs in. It's going to be quite hard for both teams. I mean, Korvac, we've seen him in the past, has been really good at getting in on his initial aggression and sort of getting lots of good damage and putting a lot of pressure on the enemy teams. And if he can do that and be as effective as he has before, then I think that's something that they've really got to work out for. And I think he's always a person on nerdRage that I think people should watch out, because I think his bombs and the way he plays and how he puts his damage out is very effective, and it's very good to watch. So yeah, I guess we should go into maybe your predictions. What do you think is going to happen this map? Who's the one to watch out for you as well?
Well, I guess I'll start with the prediction. I'm thinking it's probably going to be another win for nerdRage. I mean, Untitled Tactics has been looking very, very shaky on this map.
All right.
And because they've like tied them both times 1-1 and 4-4.
Hello there.
And yeah, they just seem to not really be able to make their like, if they have to like push like in the moment, it becomes really chaotic, and they just can't seem to get it going right now. So I don't know if and in Gully Wash, you know, it's such a short map. There's a lot of places where there's like really fast pushes. So I don't think they're gonna do great, which is kind of sad, seeing it's their map pick. So I think
it's always one
I think that nerdRage will probably win.
All right, okay. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, we have traditionally seen what was it, the Crowns? They were always very good on the Gully Wash map, and I'm pretty sure before the season we saw nerdRage actually trying to emulate a lot of the things that they did. Where you do that drop-down push where you come onto your own side and take over the round without like even having, like if someone's not watching drop-down properly, then you can just get in for free, and you've basically taken, it's like pushing Big Door, but you just don't take any splash damage at all, and you've got healthy players, you can jump the point, and you can just do a whole lot. And they've doing that sort of style of incorporating that way of playing into their gameplay very well. I think if they can sort of pull it off against Untitled Tactics, as you said, yeah, they can definitely put in a good performance.
I don't know why we're laughing because Dashner's clapping. It's like just laughing constantly.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but
I think it's because you just blatantly said wind tunnel tactics are not going to do very well. So
oh really?
Like but yeah,
I don't want to be mean. Don't tell them I said that. They might beat me up.
Yeah, I mean I'm going to come over to their desk right after this, and then they're just going to hop at you. You know.
Well, I mean, if you only tell Funds, I can maybe take Funds, but the rest I can't.
Oh wow, okay, that's some one-on-one shit talk coming out right now. No mercy whatsoever.
Well, I mean, hey, if it's gonna destroy me in TF2, but I gotta somehow have some kind of high ground.
Is that what you're gonna go with? Your IRL MG is better than Funds.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Well, it kind of, I'm looking over there and it looks like we've started, so, I mean, you did say your prediction was that nerdRage are going to win, but come on, let's get a rounds out of you. Let's see.
Rounds.
What do you think the score is going to be?
I think it's going to be like 4-1, 5-1. I think I assume that there's probably going to be like one really strong mid, like just one mid where Funds just goes crazy and then they just roll that to last, but I'm not expecting like a lot of rounds like that, so I think it's 4-1.
Yeah, I suppose it's very hard, and we've seen in the past Ombrak and what is it, Blade coming up on that Vaccinator heavy combo. That's just scary to push against. I mean, it's always something, and especially in Gully Wash, the last is so hard to push in the beginning, but it does look like we're going to go straight into this game, and I don't know who I think I'm going to watch maybe News on this mid. Such a good mid for Demoman. I'm going to see what he can maybe do. Do you want to take us away?
Alright, let's see what big boy News is going to do. He's sticking up the nerdRage choke a little bit, trying to get some damage onto Namtek. Not really getting much. Actually, wind tunnel tactics does not have a lot of positioning into this mid. nerdRage is just all over, and they're just getting stuck in this elbow area. They just get completely destroyed. Great.
That was that was quite unlucky there actually, because you saw while all the nerdRage players were across just completely obliterating wind tunnel tactics, Pappy did actually get behind onto Ombrak, but in the end he was just not quite able to hit the shots to take him down, and Ombrak, standing completely still, was able to somehow dodge him. But yeah, Honey up on that Vaccinator charge that we've seen him very much favour in the past. Funds on Engineer there, just looking to completely stalemate this out as hard as they can, even Chris on Heavy. But the Ombrak is going to bring the supercharge in. It looks like he's wanted to shape in through Shutter, but we'll see what he wants to do.
Oh, this is some real gimmick plays. They have the Heavy in secret, but the Uber gets popped off from the nerdRage side. Namtek will take out that sentry gun. The backcenter bubbles are getting popped by Honey onto Zesty there. They will survive for a decent amount of time, but then Funds gets Medico and Funds gets traded out. Zesty will also go down in that lobby area. There's sticks on the point. Pappy goes down to Neo. News is unable to hold him off to the point, and Honey tries to get in, but he gets Neo, but ultimately nerdRage will get the first point.
Yeah, that was a really quick round out of nerdRage there. Let me just reel it out, but yeah, that was so good. They just got in there, they did that first initial Uber, and then they just all backed out, got their heals back up, and that Vaccinator just not able to really heal up the overheal quick enough, and they just completely rolled them.
Alright, well, for the next mid, nerdRage is again going, actually he's going to the wind tunnel tactics side of mid, and we have a mirrored mid setup here. 6 players on one side, 6 players on another side, but the bomb is coming in from both soldiers. Manico gets a kill, Korvac suicides, Blade gets Zesty, Chris gets killed by Namtek, and now it's just Honey and News alone on that side of Choke, unable to get out. And that's actually, well, that's not a wipe, but that's 5 versus 0 for nerdRage.
Well, yeah, the complete wipe on the side of wind tunnel tactics, but Korvac, yeah, does sacrifice his life for this. We just see Namtek actually already looking to try and push in here. They've got that 100% Uber, and they just want to push this as quick as possible. No time to even think about building Vaccinator charges for Honey, and they're already in this last. Everyone's already in the spawn, but I think they just went a little bit too quick. Oh my god, Ombrak going down to such low amounts of HP, and it does eventually get taken down by Honey, but News is actually in the river here, and he should be able to hold this off. Honey does go down to Blade, and then News dies to Medical as well, and that's another round on the side of nerdRage.
Damn. Well, I mean, my prediction can still hold true. I mean,
it can, yes. I mean, that's just so crazy. It's only been 4 minutes and it's already 2-0. You can just tell that this is a map that nerdRage are so comfortable on.
Yes.
Yeah, going into this third mid, I think I'm gonna watch Funds on this one, see what he's been doing for his team. We do see them just kind of all trying to take over the right side, kind of sort of see what they can do here. But Pappy is already down, but the Chris and zeSfrosty going across the point, cleaning up here. Funds takes down Medico, and that's such a much better mid from side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. Their positioning isn't quite all there, but nerdRage have had to back it up, and they should be able to take this mid. Yes, Ombrak goes down, and that is an 80% advantage, which should be 100% Uber for last for the side of Honey. That's really good mid from them.
All right, Wind Tunnel Tactics going to second. Blade is actually on NG. They want to try. They're already in holding last mode. No thought in their mind to try and stop that second cap. Vaccinator's up for Ombrak. Neo's on heavy. This seems a little bit like what we've seen from the last 2 mids from nerdRage, or last 2 rounds of nerdRage rather. Full Uber advantage push coming in. They're going into Shutter. The Uber has been popped. Scout Soldier Uber. The Heavy's on the right. The Sentry has gone down. They're on the point, but they haven't really gotten a lot of frags. Medico gets Chris, but then Pappy and Funds respond to that Blade. Namtek gets zeSfrosty and Funds. And, well, it's 3v3, but nerdRage has a Heavy and Vaccinator. Pappy trying to go from that water area, try to do some kind of weird back cap, but unable to do that. And, well, that push did not work out for Wind Tunnel Tactics.
No, it does look like nerdRage using that, still on that Vaccinator, able to pop that off and just walk through Nuzi's trap without even taking any damage, really. I mean, God, that just shows you how pushing out with this Vaccinator can sometimes really work out for your team. But it looks like Wind Tunnel Tactics trying to fight this. Funds does go down, but he does take down Namtek. Maybe able to do something zeSfrosty, trying to go for some sort of gunslinger spy play, but unfortunately he's not able to do it. And nerdRage are just going to push this big door area, and if Honey isn't careful, he's just going to get caught out here.
Well, Wind Tunnel Tactics is giving them all the space. They're not really going to contest it just yet. They assembled onto the point, and now the push is coming in from Wind Tunnel Tactics. They block the mid cap. Korvac jumping in, trying to get the force onto Honey, unable to do so. Some Vaccinator charges have been popped from Ombrak, but they only lost 1 player trying to get out of mid. Wind Tunnel Tactics has this mid point. They're pushing through choke. Here it comes. The combo's walking in. Seems like nerdRage is already kind of given this up. There's only Namtek who you can kind of vaguely call in on top. He's getting chased a little bit by Funds. Funds this time will not be able to just walk in and kill Namtek, but Wind Tunnel Tactics will get the second point. Yeah,
that was really good from Wind Tunnel Tactics. They've still not popped off this Uber. I mean, Ombrak has got those 4 Uber charge, or 4 Vaccinator bubbles. They are pushing through lower. A bit of a strange push, and it looks like they're just trying to get Medico behind, but they're not even thinking really about going onto this. But it'll be interesting to see what Medico can do. He's got right onto that combo and forced up the Uber, completely ruining any thoughts that Honey was trying to get there, and he does even take down Pappy for it, his troubles. I think it looks like Ombrak is still going to stay up on this Vaccinator charge, and if they play their cards right, yeah, both the soldiers bombing in there. Take down Chris with a crispy shot from Korvac, really nice from him there. And News has gone down to such low amounts of HP. If he isn't careful, he's going to die. Yeah, that's it. And Wind Tunnel Tactics going to have to back off right onto that midpoint. And if they're not careful, Honey might get caught out by these Vaccinator bubbles in the next few seconds.
Well, let's see what happens. The Vaccinator bubbles are being popped. Korvac is jumping onto the point. Medico has jumped with him. People are getting caught. Honey does eventually pop the Uber. zeSfrosty did go down, though. There's 2 picks for Wind Tunnel Tactics. Korvac and Blade are both down. No Vaccinator bubbles anymore. There's still someone in. That is Medico. He will go down. Now it's just Neo, Namtek, Ombrak by this choke point with 2 Vaccinator bubbles, trying to hold off these 5 players of Wind Tunnel Tactics. They're trying to peek in. They can't really get a lot of ground action. They're getting kind of destroyed by these sticks here. So we will need to just sit on mid for now.
Yeah, it does look like Moose and Namtek are having a bit of a battle there, but they do take the Vaccinator bubbles in. They're going to try and, yeah, they take out News, who was a little bit overextended. Honey doesn't quite have his Uber charge, so he's not able to do anything in the sorts of that. And yeah, 4 players are down from the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. Honey about to get his Uber charge, but if he's not careful, then nerdRage are just going to get right onto him and force this out before he can even be effective. Yeah, Korvac is in this top river area, but luckily for Honey, Pappy does notice him and kind of bullies him out. Just make sure that he can get onto his medic and make this roll right onto last without any effort. But yeah, it's interesting to see how Ombrak is still up on this Vaccinator charge. It must be so difficult to just try and focus down at any targets when they've just constantly got these bubbles on them.
Yep, well, a very interesting strategy here from Pappy. He has equipped the Conqueror. Let's see if we get this. I wonder if we're going to get to see any of that action. Funz is on NG, building up that sentry on the right side. Chris is actually on Pyre, sitting very close up to that shutter area. A lot of people from Wind Tunnel Tactics relatively far in for a last hold. Pappy will have to leave River when the rest of nerdRage will come in and force him out of there. I think they're willing to pop in right now. Ombrak is popping the Vaccinator bubbles, but it seems like nerdRage is just kind of unsure what they want to do. They do get the sentry, Funz does go down, but then they still get denied by Chris's air blast there. In the end, they just go back in river, but Medico has actually gone into water. As a little altercation here between Pappy and Medico. Neither of them really getting the kill. Chris is trying to chase him though. He will chase him with that pyro shotgun. And Namtak actually goes down to zeSfrosty, and there's another pick. Now it's just Ombrak and Blade that have to get out through big door.
Yeah, I kind of like this play, bringing up the pyro from Chris. I mean, you can't put all 3 different Vaccinator charges, so you might as well have all 3 damage types. But yeah, it looks like they're just going to walk through this choke, trying to reflect all the rockets off. He's doing such a great job. He's still alive somehow. But it looks like he's trying to focus on these bubbled targets because he knows that they're not going to be taking the correct amount of resistance. But Namtak is really aggressive in this choke area, and I think he might be getting caught out if he's not careful. Yeah, he's gone into elbow, and Ombrak is really going to have to just completely give this up and go to last. I mean, there was absolutely no reason for Namtak to stay in there. All of his players around him had basically fallen, and Wind Tunnel Tactics were looking in a pretty healthy state, but this, if he wasn't careful, it could have just been a roll onto last without a demo man.
Alright, well, this is not something you see every day. Here's the last push, full Uber advantage with the pyro. It gets popped onto Chris, onto News. Let's see what they can do. He's walking in. He's on the point, actually, the pyro, getting some decent amount of time on the point. Blade will go down trying to block the point, but the rest of Wind Tunnel Tactics has gone down while Chris was messing around, was trying to get time on the point. We do have Funz still on last, trying to get something onto Ombrak. Ombrak dropping to 40 HP, but he's not able to die. That's great casting, but we have Pappy yeah, but then we have Pappy in lobby. He's tried to make some plays, but he goes down as well. nerdRage is gonna get this second point.
Yep. I hate it when I try and die and it just doesn't work.
It really sucks.
Yeah, we did see there Pappy. I think he tried to sort of stay alive to have his conch charge still sort of in the works, but unfortunately he does get caught out in lobby, and nerdRage doing that classic Crowns push, going down, drop down, and taking over the right side, and it's working out really well for them. They're just playing this so slow, getting those picks. Korvac does eventually fall, but both of his soldiers fall, and yeah, it's just, it's completely turned around on them. They were doing such a good job of taking up that position, but the DM from Wind Tunnel Tactics has just completely foiled them this time, and now Honey's up at a 92% Uber. Ombrak nearly got his, and if he's not careful, he might just fall to a trap to News.
Yeah, both team scout duos are just getting a lot of space right now. There's actually Neo walking straight in. The Ubers have been popped on both sides. The combo of Wind Tunnel Tactics trying to do something in big door, but not able to really do anything. Funz will go down in big door. Honey's going to get caught there. News has also already gone down. There, Honey will finally die, and now it's just Chris and Pappy on second. And nerdRage has 6 players. Actually, Pappy is under the point. Let's see if he can maybe get something. He's going to jump on top of the point. He's trying to get some rockets onto the med. He gets 1 rocket. That's all he's going to do. And nerdRage is going to go and get the second point as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bit unlucky from the Untitled Tactics. They tried to push that big door too early while the Uber from Ombrak was still coming out to try and maybe get some picks, but I think Funds is complaining in chat there that his mouse was turning off, so maybe having a bit of technical issues when he was trying to clean up those kills and just wasn't able to. But either way, they're up on this last. They've got that pyro from Chris holding by the shutter, and the sentry of Funds is already down. I mean, he's still up on engineer, but I think he should just give up on the sentry. They know where it is, and they bring in the super, and he's just going to get caught out again. I mean, that's something you never want to happen as an entry. You never want to die in that situation. But yeah, we just see Chris on the point as the lone pyro. Is he going to be able to hold off this aggression? No, just leaving News down to dry, and that is a third round for nerdRage.
3-0. It's 15 minutes in. This is not the start that Wind Tunnel Tactics was looking for. This is their home, well, quote-unquote home map. So you'd expect them to do pretty decent on it, but haven't really been showing us much yet. Let's see if they can do anything on this next mid. Here it comes. News leaves that choke area, immediately gets aggressed on by a nerdRage soldier, drops very low. News is out of the fight. Korvac actually gets killed by the jumping Pappy getting a pick, but then zeSty and Pappy both really weak, and Neo just walks in, cleans up both of those kills. There's Blade coming out of elbow trying to get onto Honey. He will go down. Medico will get News. Now it's 3v4. Numbers advantage for nerdRage, and Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to respect that. Actually, no, that's not true. Funds will go down. Chris also will go down, trying to aggress onto the combo, trying to get maybe Umbrak, but unable to do anything. And Honey is here in lobby, meeting up with the other two soldiers. Well, nerdRage go and cap the second point. Actually, Pappy gets caught up top. There's zeSty, will clean up the kill on Korvac, but they will trade soldier for soldier. Even Ubers, they're going to try to contest the second point. Uber gets forced. They need to get the jump onto the medic now. Chris gets Neo. They need to get on the medic eventually, but they haven't really done anything yet. zeSty jumps in the air, gets onto Namtek, gets one rocket onto him, will get cleaned up by Blade. And well, this is a very interesting push. Honey is just in the middle of nowhere in Big Door alone. He will meet up with a soldier. The soldier comes in into choke. He shoots some rockets and then just jumps around and dies. Now it's just News and Honey linking up in lobby, and they're going to have to hold last.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Wind Tunnel Tactics at all. I mean, they've got Pappy still down for another 4 seconds, so he's going to be a respawner in this push him. But the full Uber charge advantage for Umbrak him. If he takes it in quick enough, he should be able to completely deny anything from them. Yeah, he takes both of his scouts in through main, and they're just going around causing havoc. That sentry does go down. Pappy and Chris have fallen as well. That pyro completely ineffective at denying that Uber, and they're just playing the positioning so great. They just focused up those targets. Honey goes down. Now they just have to kill News, who's standing behind the point. And unfortunately, no hero play there. He does get Neo and Blade, but unfortunately the Namtek and Korvac combo is just too much from him. That is going to be 4-0.
Alright. This is the next mid.
Yep.
And this, if they don't win this, they need to win this mid Wind Tunnel Tactics so that my prediction will come true. So 4-1. So here comes the mid that Wind Tunnel Tactics will win, I hope.
Alright, okay. Yeah, I mean, the last mid that they took, they went their side, which looks like they're not doing this time. I mean, they did that really good one push on to the right side and they won the fight, but Pappy and Chris, I mean, all the players on Wind Tunnel Tactics did such a good job out DMing their counterparts, and it looks like, oh my god, zeSty coming in with a big flank attack, taking down Umbrak and Medico, and it's just Neo, both scouts on him, and there's just absolutely no way that he's getting out. But both the scouts have completely forgot about mid, so they're going to have to send Chris all the way back to start that capture point.
Got a little too excited there.
Yeah, they saw that they were winning a round, and they were just so excited about it that they just all went on to second without even thinking about mid. They thought, right, we've killed everyone at mid, don't need to capture it, but unfortunately that's not how the game works. Yeah, and they're just holding up in this lobby, trying to probably gathering their thoughts, trying to keep it nice and slow. I mean, there is a vaccinator charge, so if they can spot that out and get this sentry down before they start this push, this could be really good for them.
Oh, they're in river. They're coming in. The sentry has gone down. The Uber has been popped. They're trying to play the point.
Oh my
and no one from nerdRage really contested it. And that's going to be the point for Wind Tunnel Tactics. It's now 4-1 with 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was so good. I mean, both the scouts just disregarded any like threat from nerdRage. They just thought, you know what, this point is ours, deal with it, and then that's put them up on the cap and onto our 6th mid of the game.
Alright, let's see what's going on here. nerdRage going, a soldier jumping onto Wind Tunnel Tactics side. Neo gets Pappy, the roamer of Wind Tunnel Tactics. nerdRage now has a lot of positional advantage. Wind Tunnel Tactics is just kind of stuck in their choke. There is still a scout in. That is Funz. He will get Namtek, and actually News gets a flanking Medico, and Umbrak actually gets down by an aggressing Chris. And nerdRage is just falling apart right now. They got the point, but Wind Tunnel Tactics seems to be winning this. Just Neo and Korvac. Korvac trying to jump on top of the point, trying to get on to Honey. He will go down to Zesty, and now it's just Neo. It's by Big Door, and will get directed by Pappy.
That was a crazy mid. There was just so much going on that whole time. I have no idea what even to say to you, to be honest. I mean, it looks like either way, I mean, it looks like they should be able to take this in here. Blade actually has got the forward spawn, Sniper up. Looking at that Big Door, Honey does not want to come in. He is absolutely relentless about staying in there. I mean, if he doesn't do that, they're just going to lose heals, but they really need to push nerdRage out and deal with this forward spawn Sniper before they do anything. It does look like he's back spawned now, so the threat is gone, but that could have been really bad for them if Blade was able to hit his shot there.
Alright, Umbrak is just about to spawn. There he is. Regular Uber. Full Uber advantage for Wind Tunnel Tactics. You see both soldiers in river, but they're moving towards lobby. This is going to be a shutter push. It seems so. News is signaling the push in. The Uber gets popped onto Funz and News. Push coming in. None of the nerdRage players, they're all forced into spawn. Scott is playing the point. Gets the soldier. Heavy's alone on the point now. Everyone else has gone down, trying to get out of spawn, and that will be the 2nd point for Wind Tunnel Tactics. Yeah,
that was such a great play from News there. He just completely denied anyone rotating that spawn, and unfortunately for you, that round has just put your prediction out of the water. I mean, can't even predict one score. I know, either way, very good play from Wind Tunnel Tactics there. Just, I'll stop the troll. But yeah, onto this 7th mid of the game. Korvac is getting so aggressive onto News, and he's going to have to back out into that choke point, but the counter aggression from the soldiers of Wind Tunnel Tactics are getting across there, and then we just see Medico jump across the point and absolutely crush everyone, and that is just such a great play from nerdRage there. Umbrak does go down in the end, but the aggression from nerdRage just completely wiped any sort of chance that Wind Tunnel Tactics had on that mid. I mean, Korvac's initial bomb to force News out, it's completely screwed up their whole rate of play, like that whole mid.
Yeah, this is a full wipe. nerdRage is going to cap the 2nd point. There's actually someone, Medico, who's in water. I don't think Wind Tunnel Tactics is aware of this play that's currently going on. Wind Tunnel Tactics is trying to contest this 2nd point, but Zesty goes down, News goes down. Nobody can really get out of that lobby area. nerdRage will be able to cap the point. They even get Honey there. There's the scouts on the point. They're stacking the point. There's still Chris there. Chris will go down. Actually, Medico's flank or water play will not work out, but nerdRage is approaching this point. Spawners are just now coming in for Wind Tunnel Tactics. Tried to get onto the point. Zesty goes down. You just have a Heavy and News, and Funz on Heavy is actually not able to get onto the point. And that will be the 5th point for nerdRage.
Yeah, so unfortunate. I mean, they got completely wiped on that 2nd point. And then it was just the 3 spawners that they had, and there was just nothing they could do about it. They rolled from last. Medico was behind them that whole time. Unfortunately, wasn't quite as effective as I think he wanted to be, but in the end, it didn't even matter. He just helped get that pick onto Pappy, and there was just no threat on that last point for him. So a good heads-up play from Medico. But again, News has been completely shut down this mid. He's actually stuck in elbow with Honey, and gets eventually piped down from Namtek, and now it's all up to the other players on his team to make this mid-fight even worthwhile. I mean, it's, Honey does go down to Neo, and Neo leaning up Chris, and it's just Pappy now. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything, so he's just going to back off up into that 2nd point, and that's going to be another mid-point going towards the team of nerdRage.
Yeah, Wind Tunnel Tactics has not been able to continue their streak. They got 2 mids, and now they've just been losing them again. Pappy even goes down. in the choke of nerdRage, trying to go for a flank. So that's another player down for, or well, one player down for Wind Tunnel Tactics. nerdRage is capping the second point. Wind Tunnel Tactics is holding last. Funds is building up that level 3 sentry right now. Chris is back on his pyro shenanigans, and Honey is on Vaccinator. Does have 4 Vaccinator pops. The push is coming in from nerdRage through River. There's a lot of people from nerdRage here. They're just trying to find the opening right now. Here it comes. The scouts are walking in. The sentry is shooting all over the place. Has not gone down yet. Funds has gotten focused down. Zesty goes down as well. Scouts playing the point. The Vaccinator in the demo is trying to get onto the point, and it seems like they're getting a lot of picks right now. It's just Korvac and Medico who are really weak, and Neo is on full HP, but I don't think he will be able to do much. He's trying to get in through River. Will go down to Pappy. There is a soldier and a medic actually in water. Korvac goes down with no heals, and now it's the combo here in River. Medico will go down. Umbrak is now alone on 12 HP, trying to fight Zesty, but Zesty with the skill stick will take him out and all his dreams of a combat medic performance right there.
Yeah, that was really good there. I mean, Umbrak did get off one saw onto him, but it just wasn't enough, and he just eventually picks him down into the ground, and they're going to be able to take in the second point. Korvac looks like he wants to completely shut down even the slightest thought. Zesty and Pappy going down, so if they don't get this capture point as soon as possible, this could be really bad for them. And Chris gets headshot by Neo. We're going to watch him for a bit. Looks like he's got the sightline onto News, and he gets him the headshot as well. And Korvac able to pick that up. And he gets, oh, he's so close to getting that shot onto Honey there. This is such a bad position there. It's just Pappy and Honey, and Funds on top of the point here. And if they don't get their respawns coming out in time, then they're just going to be bad. Yeah, Honey goes down. Funds is just hung out to dry as well, and this is looking terrible for Wind Tunnel Tactics. Neo with the fat sniper shot onto Chris, and he's just completely keep it on going, and then they eventually take them down. But wow, that was such a great play from Neo, hitting those crucial headshots on all the players that he needed to really turn that fight around.
Yeah, nerdRage sitting on that 3-point advantage. 4.5 minutes left. They're sitting in nerdRage's lobby. Blade's peeking in main, seeing if he can get an opening. There actually comes Korvac, catching Pappy out. Soldiers have been traded, but there's still News and Funds also dead on the side of Wind Tunnel Tactics. There's actually, I think that's Neo peeking into main as well, just trying to show a little bit of aggression. There's some more fights going on, just individual fights everywhere. Namtat, or actually Blade, trying to edge the point, getting a lot of time on the point. Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to have to play the point. Medico goes down for someone in water, getting finished off right now. So Scout 1v1, Neo under the point. There Chris will beat him in that 1v1. And just Korvac in on mid, actually Big Door, and Wind Tunnel Tactics capping the second point.
Yeah, this is looking good for Wind Tunnel Tactics now. They've only got 3 minutes left, and they need to get 3 rounds, so if they're going to do anything now is a good chance. Umbrak only just respawning. Honey trying to go in through lower, but the sticky is kind of stopping him going through, and Korvac gets straight onto him. He has to pop off that uber charge, and that, unless they make something of it, it's going to be really bad. Zesty going down, and they've got 0 kills with the supercharge. They just take out Namtak at the tail end of it, but it's looking pretty bad. Funds 1v2ing both scouts there. Honey not quite able to arrow him with the savior arrow. Does get an arrow onto Korvac actually, bringing him very low down, but yeah, looking good for nerdRage here. I think if they play their card right, they should be able to just walk through. The health on Wind Tunnel Tactics is just so dire right now.
Happy gets cleaned up by Korvac. Wind Tunnel Tactics is going to give nerdRage this midpoint. nerdRage has massive uber advantage here, 50%. Wind Tunnel Tactics is trying to at least resemble something of a hold on the second point. nerdRage is going to be pushing in soon, though. There they come in from choke. 4 players coming in. Neo and Korvac actually have gone down. This push is crumbling. The Uber gets popped off eventually, but they're not going to be able to do much with this Uber. Umbrak popped in choke, and everyone from Wind Tunnel Tactics has left. They are now coming back into second. There's a back cap going on. A lot of time on that midpoint. I think Funds was doing that. And now nerdRage is sitting on their side of mid, and well, they're just going to have to give this up to Wind Tunnel Tactics.
Yeah, I know, that was looking so good for nerdRage there, but Ombrak, I mean, Korvac and Neo just getting caught out on a very unfortunate situation. Just completely denies that push from going through. 1 minute 50 left. Untitled Tactics looking like they could be able to take this round. Only 60% Uber for the side of Ombrak, and Honey has it full up. Namtek was a little bit aggressive in that lower there, but he is able to sort of work his way out. I mean, they do try and take this Uber in as quick as possible, but Ombrak just barely gets his Uber in time, and they're going to have to back it right out again. If they get the heals up, and they do get the pick onto Blade actually, and the other scout of Neo, oh, that was really good from him there. He was in such a bad position, but he's just able to 1v1 Funds and take him out, and that's a really bad situation for Untitled Tactics. And it looks like nerdRage, if anything, are going to push this back out, retake second, and it looks like it's going to be dead time now.
Yep, it's pretty much dead time. It's 1 minute. nerdRage is on their second. In theory, Untitled Tactics would have to get 3 points within a minute. I think it's basically over, and well, this has been a very back and forth map. I mean, when I saw Untitled Tactics win those mids, like, they suddenly seemed like they were really getting back into this, but I don't know, it's just nerdRage is too good, I guess.
Yeah, they've just been so coordinated on these pushes. I mean, it was very unlucky in that last push. They should have maybe been able to get around, but Ombrak barely got that Uber to completely deny the push because they were in so deep after Ubering so early, and it was just not going to work out in the end. But that's one thing that I've noticed nerdRage have been really good at, actually, is they're really good at getting in and then getting good damage, but they also stay in with the Ubers, and so they've still got that good positioning, and even if they only get 1 kill, it's generally enough for them to sort of convert the round. But yeah, that's it over. nerdRage able to take that map 5-2.
Well, I guess that's it. nerdRage has gone undefeated through the group stage. They have won all 6 of their maps. I think second seed is going to be Untitled Tactics? Maybe? I'm actually not sure, because...
Yeah, they've been doing... I think it might go to them, but they've drawn twice, so it'll be like a sort of a heavily weighted thing where nerdRage will be out in the front, but I think Untitled Tactics probably will be a second, then it'll be quite close between 3 and 4. I'm not too sure who won the last map between those guys.
I think... yeah, I think Dennis is going to be fourth seed. I don't know if production knows. No? Okay. Well, it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out soon.
And,
but
I guess if we want, we can maybe take a look at some logs. If I don't know, I've loaded them into view, but I'm not really sure what's happening with them right now. We're able to
transition
the scene over. Look at this
there we are.
Lovely log picture. There we are. That's what we're wanting to see. But yeah, even just looking at, just briefly, we look at the stats of Neo. Look at him, 34 kills, 15 deaths, and 10k damage on Scout. He is absolutely obliterating the guys on the sides of Untitled Tactics. That is some big Scout logs I've ever seen. I mean, Namtek barely, for a demo man to be only 1,000 extra damage. That's really good for a Neo.
I think something that's really popping out to me in this log is Funds playing quite poorly, at least comparatively to how he's played before. Like, he's been just destroying, but you can see like 24-27, a lot of deaths on his side, and I mean, it's like just basically playing as well as Chris, which is not that great since Chris is not a scout main. So
yeah, but Chris, he does play a lot of scout and like pugs and stuff, and he's definitely very good at there. But you know, it doesn't necessarily translate to a proper team situation quite as fluidly. But yeah, I know what you mean. And Funds, I mean, it's just a whole team of Untitled Tactics is kind of up on the top there with the deaths. I mean, Honey and Ombrak are kind of close considering the round difference. I mean, only 12 to 9 deaths. I mean, it's not too bad. On the side of Honey's really, at least he's staying alive when his team are sort of going in and dying for those unfortunate situations. But yeah, we do see here a load of deaths on the side of Untitled Tactics. If you sort it by deaths, they're all up on the top, and then nerdRage are all down at the bottom. So they're definitely doing something right. nerdRage's side.
Let's go to the medic stats. because there's a very interesting stat. It is Neo, the scout, with 26% heals.
Oh my god, that would explain why he was getting maybe upwards of 10k damage.
Yeah, if you get 26% heals, I mean, you can do anything. I mean, a scout, that is. I mean, that's...
Hey, if it works, it works. I mean,
if your scout's doing amazing, you know, you just want to give it more and more health. I mean, he could just walk in and just pound even more, and it really worked out.
Yeah, well, it might be just due to the fact that they were like maybe building with him, and it did look like a lot of the Ubers were kind of being led by him as well. So definitely really good, and he was definitely one of the star players that game. And we saw there's quite a few situations, or that one particular situation at least, where he went sniper through Gullywash Big Door and just kind of took the heads off of everyone that he saw. And despite having Vaccinator up on Honey, there was just nothing they could do against the coordinated soldier spam and the ringing out of the headshots. So that was really good play from Neo out throughout the whole game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's just been a very... I don't know, nerdRage has been doing really well this LAN.
They definitely have, yeah. I mean, it's just so hard to compete with them. I mean, they've been in Prem 2 seasons now. They've been in High a couple of seasons before that as well, and they've been to LAN together multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, they're technically the I guess the defending champions, because they won last year's Gamers Assembly as well. So
yeah, they definitely did. They've been doing super well. So I mean, they're here. They want the win, and they probably want to defend their title. Show that they're still the best team in France, even if a couple of Brits come over to try and take their title. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a scary thought to think that 3 rounds against them is actually the best that any team's done so far. I mean, what has it been? I'm pretty sure they rolled their first game, then it was 6-1, 5-0, and then we've gone on to this where it's been a lot closer, but still you can see that nerdRage are definitely on peak form today.
Yep. Well, one thing that's I think been quite important for nerdRage is that the new player Blade has been doing quite well for it being his first LAN. You know, that you might be a little nervous of thinking that he might, you know, choke a little bit or just play quite sloppily, but he's been playing quite good for it being his first LAN. No real LAN nerves, it seems.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been doing definitely really well. Yeah, I don't know if you want to just don't know what we're doing here just now. Maybe we can cut it to a break and see what's happening next. Let's see. I'll check this.
I think the one of the upper bracket semifinals.
Yeah. So far we've covered all the group stages. I mean, that's everyone played their sort of initial games, and then they'll be onto the upper bracket semifinals. I think we're only watching one of them, so I think at this point it'll either be
either nerdRage Dennis or Brocontas or Bro versus
the
Wind Tunnel Tactics.
Yeah. It's so hard to pronounce their name. There's so many, too many French words. That's all I'll say. But yeah, so I guess we can maybe just cut it off there and cut to a break until we sort of get our next our next fixtures announced, so we can maybe see what they're going to do there. I mean, it'll be quite good to see whoever's going there, because I mean, if you want to put through some predictions, we're probably going to see the Bros and Dennis down in lower bracket, but you never know. I mean, they've been playing super well so far, and if the what are they called, Wind Tunnel Attacks, if they decide to pick up Gullywash again, then you never know, they might.
I mean, they tied against Bro on Gully, so we could see Bro maybe an all French winners finals, but I wouldn't bet on it.
No, you're not thinking that there's going to be an all French final?
Well, I don't know about I maybe, but I would very much obviously like to see the international final. Yeah.
Well, I guess we can sort of leave that up to the players, I guess, and then we'll come back after the break. I guess I've been zeFrosty. This has been HiipFire, and we'll see you in the upper bracket semi-finals.